right. Good morning, everybody. It's Bob Barker, and I'm coming to you live from inside the main facility here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Mike, you know what we're talking about here. How about that, hon? Good morning, everybody. It's Tom, and we're coming to you live from inside the main build facility here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. How you doing today, Bub?
Man, I'm doing really good so far. It's Tuesday. We're 2 days into this week. It's already felt like it's 6 days into the week. We're getting a lot of stuff done here around the facility. You know, a lot of good rides going out. We've just finished up another one. The 71 Chevelle is getting ready to roll out after being here for a couple months. A lot of big upgrades, a lot of big improvements to it. Client's going to be super happy and stoked when he picks this thing up today when it's detailed, waxed, tires shined, rims clean, glass polished, ready to go.
You've done a lot of work on this. My producer said we have a couple shout outs this morning. We got to give a shout out to the Viking, man. I don't know anything about that.
He just mentioned it.
Did he really? He just said, give a shout out to the Viking. Bio Productions, man. We met those guys up there at Bike Week, or at the Sons of Speed bike event, man. Those guys were tearing it up out there. They had cameras going everywhere, hitting people with this big windsock microphone and everything. I was standing there, and all the thing came up right between my legs.
Yeah, I bet it did.
And I was like, what is going on here,
Yeah,
man?
you were like, I wish, thank God.
Yeah, I only wish we were over there at Billy Lane's tent doing all that stuff. Have you seen some of the pictures coming out of the Sons of Speed event?
I'm telling you, if you guys have not seen any of these photos from that event, if you weren't there, if you're just fans and you're all across the world, go out, go to Instagram.com/Choppers Inc. Look at the photos that are getting released from that event. Absolutely stunning, dude. The editing of the photos was literally done to that period correct, so it's early looking 1900s, just exactly what the event was, and it looks insane. Like the faded, torn looking pictures, the yellowish burning marks on them. Absolutely insane the way that these things were done, and that's literally history was made.
Super good job. All you got to do, if you go to Billy Lane's place, it's Instagram, it's Choppers_Inc. is what it is, correct? And then you can just go to Rick Petco, who you all know from Orange County Choppers. He was their lead fabricator up there for many, many years. Super good guy, just like Billy Lane. Yeah. Just look up Rick, Petko, right there on Instagram, and you'll see these pictures, man. It's amazing. And to see, you know, be in the pits and hanging around with Rick and all our friends up there, to see his bike in person versus seeing it in the photographs, it was just absolutely stunning, man.
Yeah, I mean, his was, you know, of course, all of the bikes out there, and I want to say, I think maybe Billy built Rick's frame. I feel like I had talked to Billy about that. I think that he sent the frame up to him. I think that's what it was. I may be way off on that, but I think that's what it was. But I'll tell you what, man, Rick took his bike and not only made it fully functional, meaning 110% operational to do its job, but he made this thing hands down stunning. I mean, the other bikes that were there were all very vintage. They all look, it just depends on that feel that you
were trying to get out of the bike. Rick still looked very, very vintage.
Very vintage, but man, let me tell you, the pearl white paint with the gloss red, with the hand gold leaf where it was Racer X.
Racer X, yeah.
Absolutely insane. So it not only did its job, but it looked the part as well.
It was just an amazing event, man. You can't, very few events that you feel that good about, man. Check it out, Sons of Speed, man. It's out there. It's really good stuff. Rick, Billy, his brother Warren, all of them did a wonderful, wonderful. Josh from Moonshiners, everybody did a really good job. It's one of those events we'll continue to talk about for a long time. I understand there's going to be a follow-up to it at Sturgis. I know this is going to be going for many years at a time. Willie G. Davidson was there.
Yeah, big time.
So all the big names were there. Bub, you finished up right here on this 71 Chevelle. Been a long build because you had to take out the dash. Somebody had cut into this a lot of, you know, many, many years. You wound up going with a painless wiring kit in this thing to get it right and to get it set up straight. And then you contacted the folks over at Eckler's and had them send you in the Ken Hastings stereo and front speakers for it. And then, of course, with painless, you wired it all the way to the back to get everything working from an audio perspective. It was a really, really, it's not normally that tough a build, but let's talk about some of the things you encountered in this.
Yeah, so I mean, everything about this build here, you know, the 70 to 72 Chevelles, each year had its own individual thing. And this being a 71, there were certain features about it in terms of wiring and the electronics and the switches. For example, the wiper switch. 70 to 71 had a 3-blade wiper switch, where this car, someone had over the years put in a 4-blade wiper switch from a 72. So there were differences between the way the painless wiring harness was, which is meant for the car, versus the switch that was in the car versus the wiper motor that was on the firewall. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that you run across that you have to modify and alter, even though you're getting a kit from Painless for 70 to 72 Chevelles that is built for this car. It's ready to go. You literally just take everything out and just lay it in the car exactly as it should route, and your harnessing falls right into place where it should be, at the taillights, at the tag light, at the fuel sender, at the dash. And you can literally, they send you connectors for everything, so it's male, female. There's, I mean, coupler plugs everywhere, stuff that can literally plug into the factory GM telescopic, or not the telescopic, the tilt steering column itself, the keyed ignition, all of the components that you need, they send you in that box. And this one, we had a lot of modifications and alterations to make because the parts that were in this car from over the years were not true to 71.
Correct.
So there was a lot of little alterations we did to it.
Not that there's nothing wrong with the painless setup. It's that people had made modifications to
the
this.
car itself.
Wrong wiper switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the upgrades that we did, the car originally had, and this is where we got started on it, was the car had a Dakota digital dash in it. Well, a lot of guys, if you didn't see this, you can see it on our website at bubbasexoticmotorsports.com. You can scroll down, you'll see the original videos of this when we actually did a comparison of the Dakota digital versus the original that we put back in this car that was all rebuilt and remanufactured. So the car itself came into us having a Dakota digital dash in it, which 95% of the world out there would probably opt for. They would want the new digital, it's all electronic, 99% reliability out of it, everything, the accuracy's there, everything functions, it's clean, it's modern looking, and it fit right into the factory location. Well, the client who owns this car, he's a very old school guy, nothing wrong with it. He likes that vintage original feel, and that's exactly what we did with his setup, was we pulled all the modern out and put in the factory gauge cluster that was all remanufactured, tuned, so it was all set exactly accurate where it should be in operation with the cinders, the tach, volt gauge, fuel, water temp, oil pressure, everything is dead on where it should be. So we put that unit back in it, and at the same time, we upgraded the audio system in the car.
Sure did. And by the way, Bub, the audio system sounds really good in this car.
Yeah, really good. And you know what? And this is done using direct fit components out of boxes, off the shelf. We ordered all through Eckler's. The head unit itself was a Ken Harrison direct fit head unit with the factory style volume and tuning knobs. This head unit does everything you want it to do, and I'm talking direct fit, 100% stock looking. So when you look in this car right now, it looks exactly as a 70 to 72 Chevelle should look.
And it's a 100-watt 12-station preset setup that'll handle all, so you're getting about 25 watts to each speaker.
Yep, which in this setup, I mean, of course, you can add an amp to it, and it's got RCA outs. You can add an amp, you can bump this thing up to a good 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 watts if you went with the upgraded speakers at 200 watts each one. This thing would freaking crank your ears out. Right now, we went with the client's budget. We kept it perfect in mind. We did the complete head unit assembly itself from Ken Harrison, which we bought through Eckler's. We did the Ken Harrison 3.5-inch dash speakers, which were direct fit. Again, you can see that video at our website at bubbasexoticmotorsports.com. So we've got head unit dash speakers in the left and right corner, not a dual center. And then we have 2 6x9s in the rear, 3-way 6x9s. This thing sounds absolutely beautiful coming through. The way it plays all the audio off the rear glass and forward. Same thing in the front, the way it plays off the glass and goes to you. By the time you do, all your tuning and your adjustments, all fresh wiring in the car, it sounds beautiful, man. It's literally, I wouldn't ask for more if I was doing what this guy was doing, which is having a really nice 70 to 72 Chevelle that was period correct. Everything about it worked, everything about it functioned. Nothing was way over the top. It was just, it all did its job, and it did it perfectly.
The other thing, too, one of the things that we do here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports is this car didn't come in a clean condition, and we're not done with it yet. Every time we complete a vehicle, we detail it and send it out the door, and that's where we take the pictures on that very famous wall over there, the Bubba's Exotic Motorsports wall out there, and everything looks really nice and clean and pristine. So that's something you guys can check out, bubbasexoticmotorsports.com. Bub, why don't I open the door? We'll let the producer get in tight on this. I know you guys have started cleaning the interior, getting it ready for 2 o'clock delivery today. But let's open the door. We can take kind of a look here at exactly how it looks on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see how clean Bub has done this install. Notice there's no wires sitting down underneath the dash, which is the way it came in. All the keys are tagged properly with the Bubba's Exotic Motorsports key tag, so we know exactly where it sits on the hook in the box in the administrative office. There's no wires around the sill plate. Everything's set down. All the screws are turned and indexed in a north-south position because Bub's very obsessive-compulsive that way. But it's a very clean installation, and it looks like a very stock dash now that Bub has completed it. The painless wiring kit was phenomenal, and it was just as it says, painless, and that's exactly how they are. Painless is amazing.
It's nice too because you not only get, when you get the painless ones, you get the components to do it, you get the wiring, you get the harnessing, you get the fuse panel, you get the connectors, But even more, you get a complete, I think this one was 142-page documented instructions, full color, that tell you step by step which way to go and their best suggestions on how to approach something. You know, start with this, and if you're taking out an old harness, you know, take it out and lay it on the floor so you know, even with the new painless one, the exact routing that it needs to go to. What's really nice is all of their wires are labeled. So if you lose something along the way, or maybe you stain your freaking instructions, of course you can always go back and get them, but it's not hard to just grab their wiring, whatever wire it is in the harness or the bundle. You can look at it and it'll tell you, you know, to cigarette lighter hot, or it'll say 12-volt constant. You know, it'll say ignition switch to radio feed, ignition switch to air conditioning feed. You know, so it'll tell you everything you possibly need to know. And they sell it for everything. I mean, GM, Ford, Mopar, anything you can possibly imagine, and sell universal kits for street rodders, guys building, heck, if you want them for a four-wheeler, you can do it.
It's funny, too, because Dennis over at Painless literally, Bub, wrote the book on automotive electrical. He wrote the Bible on it.
Yep.
Man. And it's a published book. And I mean, it's full of information. You've studied that book left to right, top to bottom, 20 times. And it's been really exciting. In fact, it's funny, we're right against our sponsor's backdrop there. I didn't even notice that our producer had us set up in that way for the day.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's a
right
crazy
corner.
thing. So it's just another really clean build here that we've got going on. But very exciting information news yesterday coming out of this camp about the Turbonetics SSX Bubba Edition Schumacher Chevrolet Supercar Week Camaro. I actually...
We've got to shorten that. You ran out of breath right there.
I talked to the guys over at QA1 today.
That's short.
They really want to get their name on this car from a suspension component. They were concerned about them having the latest product available for this car.
Okay.
I told them that you'd have to look at that. You're the designer and engineer of this thing because you're going to have to harness this power, $1,100 to $1,300 that horsepower that you're going to put down.
Yeah.
That's going to be very exciting. The other thing is, I noticed we had somebody stop by to just kind of meet us this morning. I looked out my window after he kind of looked around and was drooling on himself, and now I see that one of our Turbonetics license plate frames is missing from over on the Turbonetics stage. So
I just noticed that too.
Did he take one or did you give him one?
No, I didn't even talk to the guy.
You didn't? I wonder if our producer did that because
Not him.
Really?
This guy just took him and was like...
These are the things that people do around here, man.
No,
I mean, they
it's
come
nuts.
to meet us, and
And then before you know it, stuff's missing.
That's
like,
exactly
are you kidding
right.
me right now?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, hey, Bub, great build right here. Another fantastic job. Mike saw that I am. Ladies and gentlemen, go out to my Facebook page, Tom Lloyd, out there at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. You'll see my very close friend and brother-in-arm, Mike McCloskey, put a post up there saying, and a picture. It was hilarious, man. I get up this morning, I check social media at 5 o'clock every morning, and there he's got a picture of me right below Bob Barker with the mic because we used the headsets the other day, and it was hilarious. It was a great
Which, by the way,
start
though,
my day.
those things, I know they sounded good, but they look like some doofus crap. I swear to God.
Exactly.
Have you seen those things?
Hi, I'm Billy Mays, and
Dude.
I'm selling you. You know, that's what
I mean, we needed to be like ramped up for those things. Like the only thing worse would have been like the headset over the top of the head.
Yeah.
That would have been the only thing worse.
Yeah, how about that?
It's coming. Watch. Now Matt's gonna make us do that tomorrow.
No, he won't.
I think it's coming.
No, he won't. So, Bub, we're going to jump back into this thing, get it detailed, get it ready to deliver. We've got a lot to do. Big shout out to the Viking out there, Mike McCloskey from Bob Barker. Hey, you know what? You want to spin the wheel over here? You hit the $1 spot over there. How about
Terrible.
that? Big prize coming for you in a big way, right? How
Yep.
about that? How about that, Mike? Thanks, man. You always keep me on my toes, man. Love you to death out there. The Viking out there, Meyer Productions out there, all the good friends, Rick Pecco, Billy Lane, Turbonetics, all the great people, Eckler's, Woodward Fab, man. We couldn't do it without you guys out there, Bub. Let's jump back on this thing till tomorrow.
Just keep on doing it Bubba style.
Make sure you set out today to touch somebody's life in a positive way. Feed somebody if they're hungry. Shoes somebody if they need shoes. Give somebody a couple dollars. Open that door. But make it a good day. Feel good about yourself. We're out. Keep on doing it, Bubba style.
Get your microphone out of there, dude.
Oh, yeah. You want me to take this?